my turn for a topic.
All right, Greg.
A few weeks ago now, and I'm late to the game here, so everybody stick with me. I got turned on to this girl, Miranda Sings. She's a big YouTube name. Tim knows her.
She has my pigeon shirt.
Okay, if we can save the beef for later, yes.
Okay.
Tim, after I discovered this girl, Miranda Sings, look at her channel down there, click on her, enjoy her content. She's this, comedian. She puts on lipstick all wrong, sings off key, is really awkward and really funny on camera. And now, yes, she has been wearing Tim's pigeon shirt, and Tim's very upset that she's going to get accolades for this amazing shirt that he is the one who pioneered.
We have proof of it. Yeah. She could, she
that'll
could do
stand
it
up in the court of YouTube, all right. When Target's throwing the free shirts at her, we'll say, well, we were first.
Yeah.
Anyways, Miranda Sings. Crazy improv comic, right? Sings all these songs. Really funny girl. So funny, in fact, she is on this season, upcoming still, of Comedians Getting Coffee with Seinfeld. The Seinfeld show. It's her and him talking and doing an episode. And so I got turned on to this girl, found her content through Christine, props to Christine. And then, like, the next day, I caught in one of those, like, widgets, like, keep reading, all these different things, a thing about her doing the show Seinfeld. So I clicked on that. And what it was actually was, obviously she knew she was doing the show or had already filmed the show with Jerry Seinfeld, but it was Seinfeld on Letterman, and it was a cut clip from his interview that didn't make it to air, I guess, because the 75-year-olds who watch CBS don't understand YouTube and wouldn't understand what's happening. And Dave Letterman was like, I don't know who Miranda Sings is. And he's like, should I? And Jerry's like, well, you should, but you shouldn't because you're old. And so the thing was, though, that this got clipped out of the interview. It lived on YouTube. And so she woke up to people tweeting it at her of like, holy shit, Jerry Seinfeld is talking to David Letterman on network television about you. And she basically had this tweet of just like, this is crazy. I meant to pull up the exact tweet, but basically like, this is a lot to take in upon waking up. This is crazy. And so my topic for the show today is, who would that be for you? Who is talking to David Letterman, or Tim and I think I pitched this topic to you earlier, right? Who, if you woke up and was following you on Twitter, would blow your mind? Talking about you with Letterman or following you on Twitter all of a sudden out of the blue would blow your mind?
Samuel L. Jackson.
Samuel L. Jackson.
Mm-hmm. Oh my God, that would blow my mind.
Yeah. No, I've always had a thing for that man, and
you have.
I wanted to meet him. Like, yeah.
Did you meet him at Comic-Con?
He
came by twice. I interviewed him twice.
He was there. We had a moment, but I wouldn't call it a meeting.
Okay.
We stood next to each other. It was good. But like since I started working at IGN, I was telling Nick, I'm like, Nick, I know we get to every once in a while hang out with some celebrities. Please let me hang out with Samuel L. Jackson. He's like, one day you will. You haven't lived up to that promise yet, Nick.
You did. You were in the green room with him, hanging out with him.
I mean, okay.
I can't make the introduction for you. I don't know the man. You had everything. You could have offered him a coffee. Hey, Mr. Jackson, do you want coffee? Can I get you coffee real quick?
I'm sorry, Mr. Jackson.
Ooh.
Thank you.
Yeah.
The other one.
All right, let's do that. Let's get him on the GameOverGreggy show, and we'll film that music video.
I like that.
And it'll just be him knocking each one of us out as we do it.
Yeah. And Taco Bell's my other one.
Oh,
just you'd freak out if Taco Bell followed you.
Because I've said this before. The Taco Bell social media person.
Yeah.
Oh, they're amazing. So amazing. And this kind of happened to me. I said something. They retweeted it and responded. And I freaked the fuck out. Kevin was with me. Mm-hmm. He was there. He saw it happen. But yeah, Taco Bell's Twitter.
They're really good at tweeting.
They're really good.
They're really, really good at Twitter. Mm-hmm. I like that a lot. Here's the thing. I've been having a good run on Twitter, as you know. No, but like I tweet about it because I'm not going to hide the fact. So there's a few names I'll get to here in a second. But one of them the other day was, I'm Weezer fan, big old Weezer fan, love that Weezer. And so Rivers Cuomo, lead singer, tweeted something. I clicked on his name to see something else, see maybe how many followers he had, or get to a link. I forget what it was. And when I did, I scrolled past the part that you follow this person, and then it said he follows you, and I was like, and like I just stopped, and I was just like staring at my phone. I'm like, what? Rivers knows I exist in any way, shape, or form. You know what I mean? Like, I literally sat there and I tweeted something along the lines of just stumbling over my words that I was going through in my head of just like, what? Yeah, what? Like, it's so incomprehensible that this guy who means so much to me, at some point I tweeted something about Weezer or whatever, and he was like, yeah, sure, follow. And hasn't left.
Yeah. Because
there's been a lot of tweets about Portillo and Lego Batman since then. He's still hanging on. He's like, good luck with that Twitch stream, Greg. But yeah, so that's a weird one. And I haven't had any personal interaction with him. Mm-hmm. So this is the opposite side of it. Now, if I was to wake up and see Kevin Smith talking to David Letterman about me, or tweeting about me, or that he had followed me, I should say, that would be another end game, right?
Yeah, that's a big one.
Because like I'm lucky enough that I hosted the Lego Batman panel at New York Comic Con, and he was on it, right? And so backstage, we're getting ready to go on, and this is the first. Kevin Smith and I'm a huge Kevin Smith fan. Everybody knows that I think about me. I think I talk about Mallrats enough to talk about that. And so we're in the same circle, obviously, of fat nerddom here, where this is going around with DC Comics and everything else, right? And so he's another guy who comes to Comic-Con every year. Every year, I'm anchored to the desk, and he comes up for something to go do it on the balcony.
Yeah, every year.
So I always see him move out of the. And we had Jason Mewes come on up at noon, so like I know Mewes and on a oh yeah, well, you've been on the show and you're cool and we like each other. Not like we're best friends or anything. And so I feel like we've been close before, and I've talked to his PR people trying to get him to come on up at noon or whatever, and it's like it never really works out, so on and so forth. So when he finally walked in, I'm finally in the presence of Kevin Smith, right? I hold it together. I sit, he's getting introduced to all the actors that he didn't know, and then some that he did. And then Warner Brothers PR is like, "Oh, Kevin, I'm sure you probably know Greg, right?" And he was like, "Oh yeah, man, nice to finally meet you. Nice to finally real world meet you." And I was like, "Kevin Smith knows who I am." You know what I mean? And he's like, "Oh," and he was like, "Yeah, we've been in the same, so we've had passing glasses or something like that." And I was like, holy shit, Kevin Smith knows who I am. You know what I mean? And again, not like knows who I am like he cares, but like knows that we've been close. We've been close to meeting before, right? And so then like I explained what we're going to do out there. We went out there. We had great banter. Everything was great. After the panel, we walked off or whatever. We're walking off, and I told him, blah, blah, that was great. Thank you so much. He's like, yeah, man, He's like, you got to come on the podcast. I'm like, you got to come on my show. That's more important. And I'm like, well, no, hold on. I don't mean that's more important. I just mean that, like, I'm not inviting myself on your show. He's like, no. We should do a crossover sometime. I'm like, you know what I mean? Hasn't happened.
Can we call it Fat Man on Fat Man?
Sure. We'll have Panda Musk draw the naked fat men on top of each other.
Call it that.
But it hasn't happened yet. But then I got to tell him the whole story. I'm like, just for the record, we've worked together before. And he's like, we have? And I'm like, yeah, like my photo's in the background of Jay and Silent Bob because you do that contest on the website. He's like, oh, no shit, man. Yeah. And so like, then I had to go do Podcast Beyond. And I was late and I was winded and I took my shirt off. But I had that moment. And since then, he's tweeted something and I'll respond. He'll favorite it or what, and like,
so you're Twitter flirting.
There's that like game.
I like this.
There's that fucking game that like we know he knows who I am. He doesn't follow me yet, probably because I DM him about something stupid right away. But we're close, and that's like one of those things of like thinking back to when I had like the Mallrats blueprint signed by him that a girl gave me because a stalker gave it to her. That was on my wall or whatever. Like
circle of life.
Circle of fucking life, man.
That's exactly what they meant when they said that.
Yeah, that's what they were thinking about when they wrote this song. Colin, what crazy ass Grantland writer are you gonna have for me?
No, I was gonna say I have way more Twitter followers than I probably deserve to have. So like a lot of the people actually that I respect, and that like I always think it's cool when they interact with me and stuff, like have fewer Twitter followers than I do, sometimes significantly fewer. And it's just because I have more Twitter followers than makes any sense, and they probably have too few. But like I always like, I mean, it's just because I'm a sports nerd, I guess. But I always like interacting with writers, like sports writers and beat writers and stuff. And Rich Eisen tweeted at me, which was kind of cool. And I'm a huge Rich Eisen fan, and he's a pretty big commentator on NFL Network. He used to be on ESPN. And I was tweeting with some people that he gave this awesome rant, this awesome Jets rant. He tweeted at me like, "Oh, thanks for watching. I have another one today," or whatever. I was like, "That's fucking awesome." He maybe responded because he saw that I was verified or whatever. I don't know why he would pick me out, but.
Verified does help.
But I was every once in a while someone favorites me or responds to me or retweets me that like is a beat writer for the Islanders or the Jets, which I think is really cool. And I think probably the biggest people that I know follow me is, and we've talked about this on the show, I think is Dredge, which I think is awesome. Yeah. They only follow about 50 people and they follow me, and they're a band and they're pretty big. And so I think that's really cool. But as far as people that I would love to follow me, I mean, I think about like some musicians that I really love, and I've interacted with some of the guys on 311 on Twitter and stuff like that. But it would be cool if some of the drummers that I really respect, like Chad Sexton or Neil Peart or something like that would
Neil Peart,
would talk about me or whatever. But it's just I always think it's really cool to just be able to interact with some famous people, and every once in a while I don't tweet at people. I answer a lot of my tweets, or as many as I can. I usually answer them in bursts of like 20 or 30, and then I won't answer any for like a few days because I just don't pay attention to my Twitter as much as I should. But it's cool when I tweet at someone that's like famous and they actually respond. Keith Olbermann tweeted at me once because I tweeted. I talked when I was a little more abrasive on Twitter, I talked shit to him and he tweeted back at me.
What did he say?
He said it's something he actually like wholly insulted me and like won the argument. But I thought that was kind of funny. I kind of got what I deserved.
Kind of funny.
But yeah, Twitter's cool because it's access. It's like democratized access for everybody as long as people choose to respond.
Sure.
That's why I know it's important for us to respond to people as much as possible, which is what I try to do. And I always appreciate that. But so I guess what I'm saying is like the people I've been most flabbergasted that have responded to me, Grantland writers, or guys that work for the Jets or something like that, usually have fewer Twitter followers than me, but it's just because they don't have the Twitter followers they deserve, and I have too many.
Sure.
Twitter followers.
Yeah, on that card, right? Like another, like, not white whale or whatever, because I really haven't tried hard, but I would love to interact with Dan Aykroyd, and he has fewer followers than me, but it's like, I'll tweet something every so often, and he is super not active, right? Like he tweets every now and again, but he is not active. Another deep cut of personal inside jokes that one day we'll make into something. No. He'd be great. And then the opposite, obviously, who has way more followers than me and deserves all of her followers, Taylor Swift. For as much as I tweet at Taylor Swift, I would love just one day she responds to some stupid screenshot from DC Universe I sent out.
She's a social media angel. Like, everything she touches, she's so funny. Just today, I was reading an interview she did with BuzzFeed. And she's so funny.
She's genius.
She just gets it.
She does.
And it's good. She just makes me smile.
She does.
I hope she follows you one day, Greg.
I'm not even worried about the follow. Just even a favorite. Just like another
I
one
think
of like...
That'd be even better.
Hey, that fat guy has made another video game character that's named after me.
I think the most I ever freaked out, just real quick, was the Green Ranger. Meeting the Green Ranger, I
Tommy?
lost my shit. Yeah.
But that was like... Tommy's awesome. Jason David Frank.
Yeah.
We love him.
I know.
He's a guaranteed GameOverGreggy show guest one day.
But that doesn't change the fact that I freaked the fuck out and lost my shit.
What a nice guy, too.
He's amazing.
Nice guy.
We love you, Jason. Good dude.
I don't know. I'm always I just freak out when anyone follows me in general. Like
Just normal.
You just see that someone followed you on Twitter.
I
You're like,
literally every day. I mean, obviously, yeah. Anyone like big following me. Kevin Smith would be amazing because obviously Kevin Smith is sort of my god. No, I'm still fascinated that people would follow me and still want to hear any of the stupid stuff that I have to say on Twitter. Or
what if Vin Diesel followed you?
Oh my god.
No, okay. Here's the thing.
That would be amazing.
I'm trying to think of who I want to answer Nick's question.
Yeah, I don't know. It's a hard question because I'm just amazed.
I think Daniel Craig might be the number one.
I don't know if he's on Twitter though.
No, but that doesn't matter.
Yeah, imagine he makes a Twitter just to follow you.
Bruce Willis.
That would be amazing considering Bruce Willis hates everything that has to do with the press or social media. But that would be if one day you wake up and there's an article where Bruce Willis is talking about his newest project and he's like, yeah, and I really don't. I wish I liked Twitter so I could follow Nick. That's my Bruce Willis.
Yeah, that was good.
That was really good.
It kind of felt like I was going into De Niro face at the end, so I had to pull out of it.
I closed my eyes going into it just to imagine I was in that world, and you nailed it. Well, now you're just nailing. You're having some sort of stroke.
Now I'm just doing my De Niro.
What is the clouds receded? Is that the line?
And the waters.
The waters
are receded.
Clouds.
Now let's just lie. That Morgan Freeman is fucking on point.
Your Morgan Freeman could use some work.
Deep impact.
No, I mean, yeah. If James Bond decided to follow me one day, I think that would be freaking amazing. If he was like, Nick, I need you. I'm like, I'm here for you. Whatever you need. Danny, can I call you Danny? Is that a thing? No? Okay, I'll call you Craig.
He's like, no one calls me
Craig. Why would you call him Craig?
I call him whatever he wants me to call him.
Hey, Craig.
No,
that's my last name, sir.
That's a good question. I mean, I feel it would be fascinating to have Letterman talking about me for Christ's sake, or Seinfeld. I mean, we haven't even talked about Seinfeld.
Oh my god! I mean, that's the thing. That's the thing is, I don't want to be too trite, but like, I would shit myself if Seinfeld or Larry David talked about me. Larry David was like one of my favorite people in the world. It's just that would be like, why would he ever talk about me? If I was Larry David, I would just.
You're a lot like Larry David, though. I feel like you guys would meet each other, and it would be like instantly going into a conversation.
You'd both complain about
the music would just start. Well, George is like my favorite fictional character of all time, and Larry David is George, so it makes a lot of sense that maybe I'm more like him than I thought.
You are very simpatico with him.
I just wish I had $400 million like he did.
That would be amazing.
Don't fuck up this YouTube channel. Maybe you get there
in about 400 years.
I'll take 1% of that.
Wait, we're getting $1 million a year?
Yeah, in my brain we are.
Oh,
that's how that math worked out.
Damn, that Patreon's doing real well. All right.
Yeah.
Good topic, me. Thanks, me.
Good job, Greg.
Good job, me.